Hey everybody, how's it going? So Higan Eruthyll just launched a couple days ago, and it's been pretty hyped up. So I figured I'd make a video reviewing it and looking at its mechanics, how it plays, and hopefully I can help you decide if it's a game worth playing or not. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to talk about is how to reroll in the game. And unfortunately, you really don't. If you love to reroll for the perfect start in your gacha game, then Higan isn't your friend. There's no guest account option, there's no using salted emails, and the email you do use has to be from an allowed domain. If you want to reroll, you are going to have a lot of emails to throw away. Now, I know you all are wondering, because of course, you don't skip the story in your gacha games, right? Is the story any good? And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's not very good. The story and the theme of the world is pretty cool, but outside of that, it gets boring extremely fast. I don't think it'd be nearly as bad if it wasn't paired with some pretty lackluster voice acting, but this is only for the most part, as there are a couple characters that are voiced really well, and that only further accentuates the fact that there's a lot of lost potential. The other 99 characters that are voiced poorly sound very flat, uninterested, and almost exactly the same as each other. Even in times of great duress or sadness in the story, the emotions from the voice actors just fall completely short, and it makes the whole moment lose any seriousness it was trying to go for. The mixing in some parts of the story as well is off a little bit, and there's one specific character that is extremely quiet. You can barely hear her at all. You have to turn the game way up. And that's about it for the story. Alright, now let's get into the meat and potatoes of a gacha game. We have the combat. Fortunately for Higan, the combat is where the game really shines. You play by dragging the abilities of your team upwards and then moving them to the ideal place or target, and then releasing the ability to use it. You can also tap the skill, and it will auto-aim on a target, and then you tap it again to use it. It goes without saying that manually doing this will allow you to hit more targets and specific enemies that the AI would otherwise avoid or just not hit. It's especially important to manual cast AoE abilities, as the auto cast will center the area on a target, meaning it won't hit the backline because the AoEs in the game are too small. There is, of course, a weakness system to the game. It is a typical X beats X beats X, and that's all there is to combat. It's pretty simple, but it does a great job at being just interactive enough and challenging in some parts of the game to be fun and engaging. During your progress through the game, you will run into bosses or stages with different mechanics that are difficult to clear without using manual play. And beating these stages are fun and very rewarding when using manual play. One of the things I like about this game is it is great at balancing the need to auto versus the need to manually play the game, and it's very good at doing that. Unfortunately, the game is not without its flaws. Some very annoying things: the ultimate ability animations cannot be turned off. You can instead speed them up to 1 second. This means that every time you cast an ultimate ability, you get flashbanged by your quick 1 second jump zoom in on the character doing their ultimate animation. This is especially annoying when casting multiple ults at once. It's really annoying, and it messes up the pace of the fight, having your retinas assaulted by the ult animation over and over again. Another negative on the combat is this game has power gating. And that means if you are below the recommended power for the stage, your stats are dropped, so you're going to take more damage while dealing less damage. Now, it's not impossible to beat stages like this, especially if you have a good team and you're getting bonuses from the weakness system. I cleared multiple stages 300 power under just by turning off auto and double speed and manually moving my skills. This will be a problem in the far future though, when you're gated from content just because you're missing that one dupe for a character you need. Speaking of character dupes and character power, how do we acquire it? In Higan, it's quite simple, and it's only made better by the outstanding UI the game has. So, for starters, we upgrade. Each of these upgrade canisters will give us a different amount of set XP. and then you can ascend your characters. If you don't have any of the materials, you click on it. It tells you exactly how to get it. If it's from a box, you open up the box and it puts exactly how much you need in there already. So you just hit confirm, and then you just go back and hit ascend. And then from the skills, you can upgrade your skills as well with skill material. Again, if you don't have it, you can click here. You can go and farm, and you just hit back, boom, straight to the ascend screen, even if you go into the stage. Very nice. And then here we have our whale meter. So every time you get a duplicate for a character, you will get tokens to spend on the whale tree. If you pull an SSR, they start off at phase 3. Every time you pull a duplicate for that character, you get 80 tokens. Now, to start, that's enough to get to phase 4. However, the cost is exponential, so if you pull it again, then to get up to 1 pip, you're spending 40. It is better than some other gacha games though. It only goes up to phase 6, so you don't need as many dupes as you would in other games. But it is what it is. Alright, the last thing we're going to talk about is how the dailies work, and about how long they take and how easy they are. And in this game, it's very easy to do your dailies. So you're going to want to start by doing your daily. You want to make sure you clear this every day, because you will be XP gated. So for the first day you play, you will be stuck at level 29. You will not be able to clear the level 30 chapter. On day 2, you will be stuck at level 49, and you won't be able to clear the next chapter. So you're always a little bit behind, so it's very important to keep on doing these dailies, because they give you XP and will help you progress quicker. Now, if you also didn't know about it, up here, right beside your name, click that. You get XP depending on how much Eider you spend. So it is possible to push past 49 on the second day, but you have to spend a ridiculous amount of your stamina. It will cost you a lot. So you really want to soak up all the XP that you can. Now, the next thing you want to do is you go to Outland. You come over here and you click on Deep Maze. Now, you know, this is a typical tower that you've seen in a lot of gacha games. You clear it as high as you can and you get rewards. But unlike a lot of other gachas, you can quick sweep this every single day because it resets, and you clear all the way back up to the floor that you've cleared, and you get rewards. It's very easy, very simple. You can come back here at the end of your play session and clear as high as you can, and the next day get even more rewards. It's very nice. Now you go on to the Mesmerizing Labyrinth, and this plays like a little roguelite. I'll put some gameplay of it in the background, but you will not be able to clear this unless you do your daily tasks, because that's how you get this, and this is how you pay to enter it. So you just hit enter and you get plays as a reward. So it's very important to do that, because you are going to need these dupes to not be power gated. The first time you clear one of these, you also get a whole set and a little bit of upgrade material for them. You will also get a bunch of these outland marks to save up and spend in here, where you can get other plays that aren't going to drop. And the last thing you're going to want to do is your PvP. Now, you don't have to do the PvP, but it's very useful, because if you look in the shop here, you can get souls. So you're not pulling dupes from that one SSR you need. Well, you gotta do PvP. that's where you can get some, along with other rewards. Very nice. And then, after you're done all your dailies and you push your tower, you're as strong as you can get for the day, you push your campaign. And that's it for the day. It doesn't take very long at all, especially when you start pushing, your campaign and you're trying to get materials for upgrading your characters, because you do not have a lot of stamina. It goes by very quickly. And that's about it. That's the whole game. After looking at almost all the game has to offer, getting through the honeymoon phase, and getting on that grind, I gotta answer the question, is it worth the time to keep playing? And I gotta say, yeah, it's a fun little side game that takes almost no time to play. Keeping up with it is absolutely no problem when your daily routines on the game only takes about 30 minutes. Even if it's just a game to tide you over until something that you really want to play comes out, this game will fill the gacha void and do a pretty serviceable job at it. If I had to give it a score out of 10, I'd probably rate it will last until Honkai Star Rail releases out of 10.
Hey, you!
You're finally awake. Are you feeling all right?